I was reading this morning from Proverbs chapter 29, and verse 18 really hit me hard, and it's one of my favorite verses in the Bible. And it says that when there's no vision, people perish. And I just was really thinking a lot about that, and I think the opposite is 100% true. That when we have a vision infuses life. A vision brings life, it brings breath, it brings energy into our minds, our hearts, and our feet. And I've been thinking a lot about passion, and how do we infuse passion into our lives. And I've found that there's 3 ingredients to bring passion into our lives. And the first ingredient is vision. And the second ingredient is a hope that vision can be realized. And the third ingredient is having fulfillment or wins along the way while we're pursuing our dreams, pursuing our goals, and progress where we're feeling fulfilled. And it doesn't even have to be that we achieve our goals, and that definitely will bring fulfillment, achieving it, but it's the journey along the way while pursuing our goals, having a vision for our life, a hope that we can actually accomplish this vision, or this, maybe it's a specific goal, and then having fulfillment around that. But if you take any one of those 3 ingredients out, passion dies, goes away. Let me share a story that illustrates this. I'll never forget when I was a kid, driving to Grant Lakes, and I'll remember that lake forever because my brother's name's Grant, and he's amazing. And anyways, we were just all little kids. I think at the time I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and I didn't know it at the time, but it was like an 8-hour drive from where we were. A couple hours into the drive, I mean, it felt like we'd been going forever, right? 8-year-old kid, and with my brothers and sisters, and my mom's driving our big white van, and big GMC white van in 1980, late 80s. And we were just like, we were all out of the songs. We sung 99 bottles of beer on the wall. We sung that a bunch of times. And we were just out of songs, and we were getting pretty wiped out of this drive. So I remember asking my mom, are we there yet? And she's like, no, we're not there yet. And about an hour later, Mom, are we there yet? And she's just like, no, we're not there. Then being, I'm sure, super tired of us asking her if we're there yet, she's like, okay, do you see that mountain out there? Just over that mountain. So prior to this, we were all just like deflated and just like, But as soon as she said, do you see that mountain? Just over that mountain, we'll be there. And I mean, it was like just a shot in the arm for all of us. It was so exciting that we could see us, and we envisioned just over that mountain, we were going to be splashing in Grant Lake. And as soon as we had this vision that just over that mountain, that's when hope came in for us. We're like, we're going to be there. It's awesome. And the car was buzzing, and we were all excited. We're singing songs. We were doing this, I'll never forget. We were so excited. We were back to doing the honk symbol for the big trucks. We were doing sprinklers, which in our car was, we'd like drive by another car, and all of us would do like Rainbird sprinklers. All of our heads, we would like make people laugh while we were driving. And the excitement came back. And so we watched that like a hawk. We were watching that mountaintop, because as soon as we got there, we were going to be there splashing in the water. So we get to that mountain, and we weren't there. And we're like, wait a minute, what in the heck? We're not there. And we're like, Mom, are we there? And she's like, no, we're not there. But do you see those mountains out there? Just over those mountains. And we're like, really? She's like, well, yeah, I think so. And so we watched that mountain, and this went on for hours. And by the time 2 or 3 of those went through, we weren't believe in it. We didn't know, we didn't know what was going on. And the passion in that car, it was like dead. There was no excitement, and because there was no fulfillment. We had a vision and we had a hope that we were going to achieve it, and there was no fulfillment. Well, fast forward another several hours, and we're just like, oh, it's just like the worst feeling, the worst vibe. We're like hitting each other in the car, like complaining, and a bunch of little kids doing this long old drive, and my poor mom driving us. So here's what happened. Finally, we asked my mom, are we there yet? With no hope, no passion, no vision for splashing in Grant Lakes, and no hope that we're ever going to even get there. We asked, Mom, are we there yet? And she said, you know what? Okay, here's the thing. I know I've said this a lot, but I'm telling you, this is the last one. This is actually it. We are almost there. And do you see that mountain out there? And we're like, oh no. She's like, no, I'm serious. Like, do you see that mountain out there? She pointed way out there. We're like, all of us are like, yeah, we see it. She's like, just over that mountain, we're going to be there. And we're like, really? And she's like, really? No, really, that mountain just over that is Grant Lakes. And you can see the car, the energy just like, wow. And we're like blowing up our floaties to get them like fully ready. Like with floaty lounge chairs and different things we're so excited about, all ready to go. And the passion in that car was ignited right then again. And we could see the vision. We could see us getting there and finally arriving. And that the hope that actually we're going to be able to achieve it came into our hearts and to our minds. And at this time, my mom convinced us that we were actually there. And so passion was ignited back into that car. And we watched like hawks that mountaintop, and we finally arrived to that spot, and we looked down and we could see Grant Lakes. And I'll never forget the vision of when we saw it, and it was like euphoria. It was like the most exciting experience I can remember. Now, passion in our lives is a lot like this trip to Grant Lakes. If you take any one of these three ingredients out, passion dies, passion goes away. Now, originally when we first started driving, we had a vision that we're going to be able to be there, and it's so exciting. We're going to play, and we had cousins and people that were going to be there with us, and it was just going to be amazing. And we had hope that we were going to be able to achieve it. And not too long into the drive, within the first couple of hours, fulfillment was gone. Like, it's just over that mountain. Nope, it wasn't. And so the vision was in vain. The hope was in vain, and fulfillment didn't happen, and passion was gone in that car and in our hearts and our minds. And when we lost vision for being able to reach Grant Lakes, there was no hope that we were ever going to make it. We're just going to be in this car driving forever. And passion was gone. And then for hours, we were just so bummed out, and there was just like this negative vibe, negative feeling, no passion in that car. And then finally, my mom was like just over that mountain. She convinced us. And when we rekindled that vision and had a renewed hope that we could actually achieve and arrive and be there, and then we had fulfillment. When that fulfillment came in, when we saw Grant Lakes, it's just like, yes, we could just run through a brick wall. We're so excited. And I found that this is so true with life. Just like that scripture that I shared with you from Proverbs. When there's no vision, people perish. But with a vision infuses life. A clear vision will allow us to hope that we can achieve that vision. Or maybe it's a specific goal or a specific dream that we're trying to accomplish. And little wins along the way can bring fulfillment. We don't have to hit a grand slam home run to feel fulfillment. We just need to get on base. Maybe it's just a single. Maybe we get hit by a pitch, but at least we get to take our base. But we're on base. And some of the greatest fulfillment comes in the journey and not necessarily arriving. Now that's incredible too, but finding wins along the way to to have fulfillment in our lives, that brings passion, that brings joy, that brings fulfillment. So as you're pursuing your dreams, your goals, and in your life, hopefully you have passion in your life. And if you don't, that's okay. You can start right now. Every single new day is a gift to start over. In fact, I just came back from Kauai and was training at an executive leadership retreat. And there was this moment where we were driving on one of the windy roads in Kauai. And while we were driving, somebody in the other lane coming on a blind turn. We were turning, it was blind. Somebody was passing another car and was coming straight at us. And luckily Brenda was driving. She was amazing. She saw so far ahead, it was like a flash of an eye. And we came to a screeching halt and just missed slamming into this person. And this was just this last week, and it just reminded me, well, all of us were like, we thought like our lives just flashed before our eyes. We like could have in a second been just toast. We were going 50, 60 miles an hour, so were they. They were probably going 70 or 80 because they were screeching to pass. And holy smokes, we were living on borrowed time. And so if it just was a reminder to me that to make sure I'm living with passion, because my life and our lives, we're living on this borrowed time. It's a gift, every moment of breath. And if we're not having passion, it was a reminder to me, if I'm not having passion in my life in certain areas, what am I doing about it? And I want to challenge you in your life. If you are not living with passion, what changes can you make to live with more passion in your lives? What is the vision you have for your life? Do you have hope that you can achieve this, accomplish this? Are you experiencing fulfillment? Little moments of joy along the journey, and you're gonna have a ton of opposition. That's par for the course. The challenges that will inevitably come while we're pursuing our goals are real, and they're there. But my friend, my hope is that you live with passion. And as a good friend, Tony Robbins, talks about, live with passion. That's like his life's mantra. And I challenge you to live with passion and bring in these three ingredients. And if you take any one of these away, passion will die. If you have a vision, but